Welcome to the Data Janitor. My name is Mike West, and thanks for joining me. This video is part of a series on a data warehouse called Snowflake. One of the core facets to understanding Snowflake is the concept of a virtual warehouse. A virtual warehouse is comprised of two things, CPU and memory. We often refer to this as compute in the cloud. In Snowflake, they call each compute instance a virtual warehouse. In Snowflake, you determine how much compute you need. The size of each virtual warehouse is done using t-shirt sizing. Again, this is commonplace in the cloud. In Snowflake, one virtual warehouse is one server, and it starts off at extra small. The second is small, and it's two virtual warehouses. The third is a medium, and it jumps to 4. Okay, you get the idea. Take note that the number of compute instances, or number of servers, increases by a factor of 2 as you move up the t-shirt sizes. If you have a very small workload, one virtual warehouse might be enough. One of the great things about Snowflake, it's actually one of my favorite things, is that you can adjust compute based on what you're doing at a very granular level. For example, let's say I need to run a query, and I know it's going to require a lot of resources, much more than one virtual warehouse. I can upsize that warehouse at the beginning of the query and then downsize it at the end of the query with a line of code or two. This means I only pay for what I need. All right, let's get back to virtual warehouses. The largest virtual warehouse is a 4XL, and it's 128 servers. Also, the larger the warehouse, the more it costs. What happens if you're running a lot of queries on a smaller warehouse? Well, you need to upgrade or wait in line. If you have a lot of queries running against a smaller warehouse, they'll be queued up, and they'll run when others in front of it have been completed. If you run on an Enterprise Edition in Snowflake, you can create a cluster of a smaller group of warehouses to run your load. Those queries that were waiting earlier can then be processed. This is called multi-clustering in Snowflake. All right, now that we have a high-level understanding of virtual warehouses, let's create a few. There are two approaches to creating warehouses. One is via the interface, and the other is via SQL inside the worksheet. All right, so we're logged into the new Snowflake interface. Don't like it. We're going to go with the classic console. It's going to ask me to log in. No, I don't want to do that. I am the data janitor. Now that we're logged in, we can see that the previous worksheet has been saved, which is really nice. Let's navigate to warehouses. Here is the default warehouse. This warehouse is created anytime you create an account. So what if we want to change this default warehouse from extra small to something else? Well, that's easy to do. Up here it says configure. So let's click on configure. And it says extra small, 1 credit per hour. We'll talk about credits later. We have auto suspend on for 10 minutes. That's great. Let's go and upgrade that to a small. Let's go ahead and finish. And just like that, it has been upgraded to a small. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? All right, now let's go ahead and downgrade it. So we want to click on it again. It's already highlighted. So let's go ahead and configure. Let's go ahead and choose extra small. And we'll hit finish. And now it's been downgraded. All right, we'll talk about this later. Talk about granting privilege later. But for right now, we're going to stick with the warehouses. Now let's create a brand new warehouse. Let's navigate to create. Let's give it a name. My organization uses a warehouse for ETL, and it has to be a pretty nice sized box because of the amount of data we move around. So ETL. All of them are called warehouses. Let's call this, keep it all in caps, virtual. Size, extra large. Nope, we don't want that. That's going to cost us a lot of money. Let's go ahead with extra small to start. So what is auto suspend? It tells you here, it's the maximum idle time before the warehouse will automatically be suspended. 10 minutes seems to be a great time, but you can adjust it to your needs. Auto resume. Do you want it to auto resume when you log on and issue a query? We do. If you don't know what auto resume is, you just hold the mouse button beside the question mark and it says, if the data warehouse is suspended, it will automatically be resumed the next time a query is issued. We can add a comment, this warehouse
is for ETL. And again, if you aren't familiar with ETL, that stands for extract, transform, and load. So we want to save this, right? We want this to be a template moving forward. So how do we do that? We click on Show SQL. And that creates the SQL for executing and creating our data warehouse. Let's go ahead and create that. Let's go ahead and copy. And let's just close it because we're not going to use it to create it right now. We just want to copy it out. We're going to save it in a minute. We could add it to the text pad. So let's go and type in text, text. I have something there. Look, I have my script. We don't want that. Let's close that. I want a new one. So let's come up here and then type text. Let's go ahead and text edit. Let's just put it on text edit for now. And we can save this as our warehouse. Let's go ahead and save it. Why not? We're here. Warehouse. How about virtual warehouse template? Yeah, okay, great. And documents? Fine. We can close this now because we're not going to use SQL. We're going to use the GUI or the interface. Close. And let's go ahead and finish. You can see just like that, we have started our ETL virtual warehouse. We've just created it. It's pretty straightforward. And in our table here, we have some information about it. The name of the warehouse, the size of it, is it running, is it queued, auto suspend, auto resume. All right, you get the idea. So let's go ahead and select it. Let's go ahead and drop it. Are you sure you want to drop this? I am. What's show SQL look like? What is drop? So the command we need to issue to drop a warehouse is drop the warehouse. Let's go ahead and copy that out. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go ahead and say you want to. No, I'm going to navigate back to worksheets. I'm going to create a new worksheet. I'm going to drop this in here. And I'm going to drop the warehouse using SQL. So let's go ahead and run that. All right, so now let's navigate back to warehouses. And our ETL warehouse is gone. Now let's go ahead and create a warehouse using SQL. We just did it through the interface or the GUI. So let's move back to our worksheets. All right, warehouses, navigate to worksheets. Here it is, we've dropped that. That is gone. We've saved a text edit, right? The code. So we can just grab that, copy, we're going to paste it. Do we want to change the name or anything? No, I mean, it's gone. There's no reason why we can't reissue it. Let's go ahead and run it. And just like that, it was created. And if we navigate back to warehouses, guess what? Our warehouse is going to be there. All right, worksheets, warehouses. All right, ETL, you're leaving us again. We're going to drop you. Are you sure you want to drop it? I am. This time we're going to use the interface. Goodbye. And now we move back to our worksheets. And we can kill that worksheet because we don't want it anymore. It serves our purpose. And just like that, we've learned how to work with data warehouses at a basic level.
Thanks for watching this video on virtual warehouses. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.